All right, in the previous lecture in heat transfer we have seen basic applications related to thermal conduction. Now in today's lecture what is that we are going to do is we are going to see more applications related to thermal conduction. Now whatever happens, I told you very clearly our discussion is strictly valid for steady state. For steady state I am doing my discussion, and that too we have related terms related to current electricity and heat transfer, and I told you your charge is similar to heat, your thermal electric current is similar to thermal current I. Here potential difference is the cause for charge to flow, here temperature difference is the cause for charge to flow, and then what else we have seen is, next we have seen that here resistance, electrical resistance is L by sigma into A, and your thermal resistance is, this is your electrical resistance, your thermal resistance is L by Ka, and in series here we have your series part, R equivalent is R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus so on. Same thing applies even here for series part. For parallel part we have seen that it is 1 by R equivalent is 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3 like this. This is what we have seen in the last class. Now in today's class what is that we are going to do is we are going to utilize some of these results and also what we are going to study in current electricity as well. So now here we'll start with first term, that is your thermal resistance. Now I have just simply written as thermal resistance is equal to L by K into A, where K is coefficient of thermal conductivity. Coefficient of thermal conductivity, this is what we have written. Now this resistance part is exactly similar to, this resistance part is exactly similar to what you have studied in current electricity. Okay, what you have studied in current electricity part for continuous resistances, same thing will also be valid for thermal resistance. Okay, so if you have any doubts, okay, try to refer to my current electricity playlist if you are in second year, that is +2. Okay, and if you are in +1, if you do not know this stuff, don't worry, you will get this stuff in your 11th. Now okay, so your first and foremost important point is, if you have a cube like this, let us say you have a cube and your heat energy is flowing in different directions. Now I can provide heat energy in different ways. Now if I am providing this high temperature here and low temperature here, then what happens is, okay, let us say it is not even cube, it is a cuboid, its length is A this side let us say it is B, this side it is C. Now exactly similar to your current electricity, okay, whenever you are writing your thermal resistance, R thermal is equal to L by Ka. Okay, so for this topic I will keep the heading as thermal resistance. Okay, so now for this thermal resistance part, your L is, okay, your L is length along which current flows or heat energy flows. A is area of cross section across which area of cross section across which current flows. Okay, so if that is the case, your resistance, if you are taking your resistance R1, that is between these two ends, okay, I am considering this end as well as this end, okay, your resistance R1 is rho times what is your length A by what is your area of cross section means B. So between this left end and front end, your resistance is this way in current density. Now if it is your heat transfer, okay, what we will be doing is we will be writing, okay, sorry, I just got carried away. So your R is length along which heat flows is A by area of cross section is how much means it is B into C. Your heat energy is flowing across this BC area. Now similarly, if you are connecting the ends between top face and bottom face, your heat energy is flowing across the length of C. So your R2 is rho times, okay, sorry, you cannot write current density resistance, this is thermal resistance, length by K into A, length by conductivity. So your heat is flowing along a length of C, your conductivity is K times, okay, this K is missing here, sorry, K times what is this area of cross section means your area of cross section for this entity is AB, okay. R is equal to L by K into A, thermal conductivity into area. Now if you are doing the same for this front and back face, okay, for this front and back face, your R will be rho times your length, sorry, length is B here by K times area of cross section. How much is the area of cross section means it is A into C, okay. So you are going to get B by KAC is your this thing, length by coefficient of this thing into area of cross section, okay. So like this you will be having your thermal resistance, okay. So exactly similar to your current density, okay. So copy this stuff down, we will continue further. Next, now every time you cannot have standard figures like this, okay, for the thermal resistance every time you cannot have standard figures, okay. So standard figures in the sense, what do I mean by this standard figure also I will tell you. Now for understanding sake, let us say you have a cylindrical tube like this, its length is L, this length is L, area of cross section is A, this part it is B. Let us say your thermal conductivity of this material is K. Now let us say you are applying heat energy this side and what higher temperature this side and lower temperature this side. Now in this case, if you are asked what is your thermal resistance, then you can directly give the answer here. So your thermal resistance answer here is length L by K times area of cross section across which it is going is your heat energy is flowing is pi times B square minus A square. Your heat energy will flow only in this portion, okay, only in this portion your heat energy is flowing, okay. So that is L by K times pi into B square minus A square, okay. So that is your thermal resistance value. Now if this is not the case, okay, indirectly what is that I have is your next situation is, let us say I have my high temperature in the middle and within the same cylinder what is happening is your heat energy is flowing radially outwards, okay. So that means your heat energy is coming out cylindrically, I mean circularly everywhere, okay. So everywhere your heat energy is coming outside radially outwards. This case is different, that case is different, okay. Here heat energy is flowing along this length, okay, it is flowing like this, okay. So in this area of pi into B square minus A square your heat energy is flowing. Here hot end is onto the left, cold end is onto the right, okay, hot end on the left, cold end on the right. So that is why your thermal resistance is this much, that is L by K times pi into B square minus A square. Now this is somewhat different, okay. Here what is happening is your hot body is in the middle and it is pumping out energy everywhere, like it is kind of tea flask where in which you have poured hot tea, okay, everywhere like this. Now when you are pouring hot tea here, what happens? It sends out heat energy radially outwards everywhere, okay. Wherever you catch it, still it will, your hands will get burnt here, okay, right. So now in this case, what is your thermal resistance in this case means, okay. So you can do this same how you do it in your current electricity chapter. So take a small strip and then try it, okay. For the first case the answer is direct, okay. For this case it is this much. Now here for this kind of question, okay, so I cannot write this answer directly. I cannot write rho times L by pi into B square minus A square, anything like that, because if I take a small strip here of width dr, okay, if I take a small strip of width dr, now if I take this strip at a distance of r and width dr, okay, if I try to calculate your small thermal resistance dr, then it is small length, that is dr by, okay, small length for this strip, your length is dr by K times what is your area of cross section means, it is 2 pi RL, okay. Your heat energy is coming out across this patch area. This patch is in the form of cylinder, so your patch area is this much, okay. Here in the previous case, when the heat energy is flowing from this top to bottom case, your length is only changing while the energy is flowing, area of cross section is same. But in this case, while the heat energy flows, as you keep going away, area of cross section, this part is variable. So that is why we are taking a strip and then integrating it, okay. So whenever we have variable terms, we have to go for integration. So your total resistance is integral of dr, that is equal to integral of dr by K times 2 pi RL, where your R is varying from A to R equal to B. Let us say the inner radius is A and outer radius is B, okay. In this, once again I will remove the constants out, so that will give you 1 by 2 pi KL times integral dr by R from R equal to A to R equal to B. So that will give you 1 by 2 pi KL times ln R from R equal to A to R equal to B. So that will give you 1 by 2 pi KL times ln B minus ln A is ln of B by A. So that is your thermal resistance, okay. So this much is your thermal resistance, and if you want your heat energy, your I is temperature difference by resistance, your current I is dq by dt. From this you substitute if T1, T2 values are given, okay. So when this hot end and cold ends are like this, it is the case. Previous case it was flowing along the length, now heat energy is flowing radially. So whenever you are having this variable area of cross section, you have to go for integration. You have to take a small strip and then do the integration part, okay. So anyhow I have explained, and if not, if you do not follow this integration part, I have separately put a figure, application of integration to geometrical figures, something like that I have kept in the heading in my YouTube channel. Refer to that content, learn the basics properly, and how you are supposed to take the strip and all, it is there in that content, do it, okay. Next, your next case is, let us say you have a spherical conductor. You have your hot end this way, your higher temperature is this way, lower temperature is outside, okay. And here everywhere you have this material whose thermal conductivity is K. Question is find resistance in this case. Find thermal resistance in this case. Okay. So now for this, how to take the strip I have discussed. If not, you can watch my current electricity video. Still I will tell you. So for circular objects like this, we will take a small strip here. Okay. So for this small strip at distance r, if width is dr, okay, let us say inner radius is r1, outer radius is r2, okay, your material is in the region of r1 and r2, you are supposed to give thermal resistance in this case. Now here also first we will define a small resistance. For this small resistance dr, okay, your small length along which heat energy is flowing is dr. Here how is this heat energy flowing? This heat energy will flow radially outwards. It will flow radially outwards like this. Okay. So small resistance dr is small length dr by, okay, your K times thermal conductivity times your area across which that heat energy is going is 4 pi r square, where your r is varying from, small r is varying from A to B. To get total resistance, it is integral of d times integral of d capital R, that is equal to d times small r by K times 4 pi small r square, where your r is varying from A to r equal to B. Okay. So if BiPC people are not following the integration part, okay, just mug up the end result. Okay. For a spherical thing, okay, for a spherical element like this, your thermal resistance is defined like this. That's all. That much if you know, it is more than enough. So that will give you 1 by 4 pi K times integral of dr by r square, where r is varying from A to r equal to B like this. That will give you 1 by 4 pi K times integral of dr by r square is r power minus 2 plus 1 by minus 2 plus 1. Integral of x power n dx is x power n plus 1 by n plus 1. So according to that logic, it is from r equal to A to r equal to B. So that will give you 1 by 4 pi K times minus 1 by r, from where to where means from r equal to A to r equal to B. So that will give you 1 by 4 pi K times, okay, upper limit minus lower limit, minus 1 by B minus of minus 1 by A. So that will give you 1 by A minus 1 by B. So you can simplify and then finally give the answer. Okay. So if you are doing everything properly, your thermal resistance final simplified value is 1 by 4 pi K times, okay, it is plus A 1 by A minus 1 by B. So you are going to get B minus A by A into B like this. Okay. In the books you could have given R1 and R2 as the radius. You substitute those values accordingly. Okay. Right. So that is how you are supposed to do the calculation. Hello. Hello. Next. Now with this example, okay, for the spherical thing we have calculated this resistance. Your next thing is okay, let us say you have a trunk, and to this truncated part, at this end we are applying high temperature, at this end we are applying lower temperature. Let us say this length is L, let us say this radius is R1, this radius is R2. Now for this you try to calculate your, okay, thermal resistance. Now for this, what is that you are supposed to do is, okay, so you have to take a small strip here at some distance x. For this its width is dx, if you elongate it like this part, if it is x or some smaller, no issues, anything you can, smaller, if you take this part is theta. Now your tan theta value is, for this smaller triangle, this small length is how much, means it is small r minus capital R1 whole divided by, for the bigger triangle, for the smaller part, for this smaller triangle, this length is x. Okay, I am considering this triangle part. Okay, tan theta is opposite by adjacent. For the bigger triangle also I will apply opposite by adjacent, so that will give you R2 minus R1 whole divided by length L. Okay, now why did we do this, I will tell you. Now if you define your small resistance dr, that is your small length dx by thermal conductivity is k times area is pi r square. Now here you have two variables. So for you to integrate it, your total thermal resistance is integral of dr, that is equal to integral of dx by k times pi into small r square, where your r, if you are expressing in terms of r, you have to keep a and b, and if you are expressing in terms of x, you have to keep your limits as from x equal to 0 to x equal to L. Okay, so limits x equal to 0 to x equal to L will cover the entire body, or from small r is equal to R1 to small r is equal to R2. Okay, do anything, no issues at all. Okay, you can do any one thing. Okay, now from here, okay, I will try to express in terms of r, that is better. Why, I will tell you. No, I think it's better you try to express in terms of x, that is purely your choice. From here r minus r1 is r2 minus r1 by L times x. Now this term if you differentiate, okay, so if you are differentiating this part, your dr is, this part is anyhow constant, this will become r2 minus r1 by L times dx. Okay, so with respect to some t variable, if you are differentiating it, dt will cancel off, so you are going to get dr is equal to this much. So now from here, what is your dx means, your dx can be written as, okay, from here dx is L by R2 minus R1. Okay, your dx is, send this L to other side, so L by R2 minus R1 times dr whole divided by, in the denominator you have k into pi into r square, where your r is varying from R1 to r equal to R2. Now simplify this, L by R2 minus R1 times k times pi times integral dr by r square from r equal to R1 to r equal to R2. Like this we can take the thermal resistance. Okay, now what is that I have done in this step is, I have taken all the constants out of the integral. Constants can be taken out of derivatives and integrals. So all the constants have been taken out, so that will give you, if you simplify further, L by R2 minus R1 times k into pi into, what is integral of dr by r square means, it is minus 1 by r from R1 to R2. Okay, so that will give you further L by k pi times R2 minus R1. This if you simplify, you are going to get 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. So you are going to get, okay, R1 minus R2 will cancel off, okay, in the denominator, R2 minus R1. So you are going to get L by k pi R1 R2 is your final expression for your thermal resistance. This you will be getting your answer. Okay, so for different figures, this is how you are going to calculate your thermal resistance. Okay, so how to take strip and do the integration part, it is in my channel, so please do refer to that content for understanding sake. Okay, right. So where we have left off, okay, we'll continue from there. Okay, that's all for today. No, we'll continue. I mean, for this thermal resistance part, that's all for today. Okay, so more figures and all is not much required, but for neat people, mug up these end results. Okay, for that figure, what are your dimensions and what is your resistance? Okay, so depending upon the figure, how current is flowing, for each figure, remember the end results. Okay, for neat people, end results are enough, but if you are expecting some rank below 1000, okay, so concentrate on the derivation also. Okay, next. Now coming to your next part in thermal conduction, okay, there are few basic ideas that are actually left off. I mean basic questions. Okay, now in current electricity, okay, there is some stuff known as Kirchhoff's first law. It is actually based on, it is the consequence of conservation of charge. So what it says is, okay, if you have R1 resistor, if you have R2 resistor and if you have R3 resistor like this, if R4 is the resistor here and R5 is the resistor here, now what this law says is, if I1 current enters here, I2 current enters here, I3 current enters here and I4 and I5 leaves, your Kirchhoff's law, what it says is I1 plus I2 plus I3 is equal to I4 plus I5. Your current entering is equal to current leaving. Okay, that is your Kirchhoff's first law. Okay, as simple as that. Okay, now your current, what it can be done is, if you want this potential V and if you are given V1, V2, V3, V4, V5 like this, your current can be written as potential difference by resistance. So V1 minus V by R1 plus, for I2 I can write V2 minus V by R2 plus, for I3 I can write V3 minus V by R3, that is equal to Ohm's law. Your potential difference, current is potential difference by resistance, that too higher potential minus lower potential by resistance. According to that logic, it is V minus V5 by R4 plus, I4 it is V minus V4 plus I5 you can write it as V minus V5 by R5. Now how this is related to what I will do is, okay, our next heading is actually junction temperatures. Okay, we are supposed to calculate junction temperatures. Okay, this heading that we are going to do is your junction temperature. Okay, so for this junction temperature stuff you need this. Okay, so what is this junction temperature? I will tell you. Now if you have a I will come to this part separately. First you copy this stuff down. Okay, so in terms of problems we will do the junction temperature. Okay, so pause the video clip, copy this stuff down. So in place of potential, what is that we have is temperature. So you will have very simple fundamental questions. What is that? I will tell you. Now what is the question that you have is, you have each rod length is L. For the following questions, each rod length is L and area of cross section is A. Okay, it is not required, but there are different rods. Okay, so you will have simple questions like this. Your first question is like this: you have a 100 degrees centigrade, okay, and you are supposed to find out this junction temperature theta is equal to how much, and here you have 10 degrees centigrade here you have 40 degrees centigrade. Your thermal conductivity is 2K for this rod, your thermal conductivity is 4K for this rod, and your thermal conductivity is K for this rod. What is your question is, find temperature of junction. There are 3 rods, okay, find junction temperature theta. Okay, that is your first question. Okay, so now you are supposed to calculate this junction temperature. Okay, there are 3 rods like this, and this is first rod, second rod, third rod. Okay, there are totally 3 rods like this. 3 rods are maintained such that for the first rod left hand temperature is given, for the right rods right hand temperatures are given. What is that you are supposed to do is you are supposed to calculate the temperature of junction. Now in this case, if you are asked to calculate your junction of temperature, what happens here is, okay, now current entering is I1. Okay, I hope you have tried. Pause the video clip once the question is given, try the answer, then only you continue the video. So your current entering is equal to current leaving. I1 is equal to I2 plus I3. Excuse me. So your current entering is, according to Kirchhoff's law. Okay, so now your current I1 can be written as 100 minus theta y, resistance L by K into A, L by K into A is equal to, what is I2? Your current is flowing from hot temperature into low temperature, so that is theta minus 10 by, okay, L by 4K into A now, plus this end's temperature is, it is theta minus 40 by your L by 2K into A like this. Okay, now from here solve for theta. L by Ka will cancel off. So if you are simplifying it properly, 100 minus theta is 4 times of theta minus 10 plus 2 times of theta minus 40. If you solve for theta, so you will be getting the answer as, okay, it is 220 by 7 degrees centigrade. Okay, so that is your answer for the first question. Okay, now one more question we will give it. Next is 140 20. You have 100 degrees centigrade. This end it is 40 degrees centigrade. This end is maintained at 20 degrees centigrade. Your thermal conductivity is K, 2K and 4K. This part's length is L by 2, this part's length is L by 2. This part's length is L, K, area of cross section is same. Find junction temperature theta. Okay, that is your next question. Try it. Apply Kirchhoff's law, that's all. Now, sir, how do you know the current direction means? I'll just simply say only one thing. That is, it flows from high temperature region to low temperature region. So, if this is I, this part is I1, this part is I2. So, I1, I is equal to I1 plus I2. I value is 100 minus theta by, length is L by 2 whole divided by K into A, that is equal to I1, that is theta minus 40 by, length is L by 2 whole divided by 2K into A plus theta minus 20 whole divided by L by 4K is the thermal conductivity into area is A. From here solve for theta. Okay, if you are failing to simplify the maths, then you do not know maths. Physics part is only this much, so you should be getting it as 380 by 7. Okay, you should be getting it as 380 by 7 degrees centigrade if you are simplifying everything correctly. Okay, I don't know, check the calculation, but mostly this will be correct only. Okay, it will not be wrong.
Okay, so like this you are supposed to calculate your junction temperatures. Okay, next, now your next question is
I am covering all the basic problems. Okay, write the notes while you are watching this video, and referring to the notes you have to do the problems. Okay, nobody is perfect. Okay, your ideas are to be focused while watching these videos. Okay, stop the video clip, and before I erase, okay, pause the video and then copy it, make a fair notes. Okay, notes is supposed to be maintained properly, else you will not learn the subject. Okay, next question is, the ends of a meter stick are maintained at 100 degrees centigrade and 0 degrees centigrade respectively. Okay, so now you have a rod like this, it is a meter stick, it is at 100 degrees centigrade and this is at 0 degrees centigrade. What is your question is, one end of rod is maintained at 25 degrees centigrade. Okay, this is your scale or stick. Okay, so what is happening here is, this end of this is your rod, that is a scale, this is a rod. Okay, look at the physics principles. Okay, don't look at the models. Okay, fancy names, how much I give, it doesn't matter, but all the physics ideas will definitely be covered in these lectures. What is your question is, where should the other end be touched on meter stick so that no heat current flows in this rod? Okay, so you have a rod and a meter stick. Okay, let us say this is your 0. Okay, and let us say this is point A. Your question is, okay, at what distance from A, at what distance from A, okay, at what distance from A, okay, the rod is to be sticked, the rod is to be touched, so that okay, rod is to be touched so that no heat flows in rod, no heat flows in rod. This is your question. Okay, right? So length, is it actually required, means no. Okay, length, thermal conductivity, no other information is required, because for current to flow we need potential difference in current density. Here for heat current to flow we need temperature difference. Now in this, if no current is to be flown, this end is supposed to be definitely at 25 degrees centigrade. Okay, for no current to flow, this end is supposed to be at 25. Okay, hope you have paused the video clip and tried the answer. Now if this distance is x, this distance is automatically going to become 1 minus x. Now when this entire current flows like this only in series, your current is same, so your 100 minus 25 is, current is I by left part's resistance if it is R1, for the right part it is 25 minus 0 by your resistance is R2. So 100 minus 25 by R1 is length x by thermal conductivity is K, area is A, that is equal to, this part it is going to become 25 minus 0 by, what is R2 means, it is 1 minus x by K into A, Ka, and 25 ones, 25 threes, okay, because this part is 75. So it is 3 by x is equal to 1 by 1 minus x. 3 minus 3x is equal to x.
3 is equal to 4x, x equal to 3 by 4. Okay, so it is 3 by 4 meters, that is equal to 3 by 4 times 1 meter is 100 centimeter, that is 75 centimeter. Okay, so like this you are supposed to calculate your length where it is to be touched. Okay, so I am just making this current same, that's all. I am not explaining anything new. Okay, all right, next. Now these questions are all basic questions, and if you have known current electricity properly, you will do all this stuff. Now let us slightly deviate from this and give you a question. Your next question is, you have a rod. Okay, your next question is, you have a rod, and how is that rod, I will tell you. Okay, so your rod is like this. This sense temperature is theta degree centigrade, this sense temperature is 0 degree centigrade. Length is L, thermal conductivity is K, area of cross section is A. Okay, now what is your question is, okay, this is of course theta naught degree centigrade. What is your question is, the temperature of one end is maintained at 0, other end is slowly varied from 0 to theta naught degree centigrade in time t naught. Okay, so this end's temperature is varied from 0 to theta naught degree centigrade in time t naught. Okay, what is your question is, okay, of course there is linear variation. Okay, this variation is linear variation. Linear variation means it is in the form of some y equal to mx plus c. Okay, what is your question is, assuming no heat loss through sides, find total heat transmitted through rod in time t naught. Okay, your question is like this, assuming no heat loss, okay, assuming no heat loss through sides, okay, assuming no heat loss through sides, okay, calculate, okay, what is that you are supposed to do is, you are supposed to calculate your temperature. Okay, assuming no heat loss through the sides, you are supposed to calculate your not the temperature, sorry, heat transferred in time t naught. Heat transferred in time t naught. No. Okay, here I have asked heat energy. Okay, I did not ask rate. Okay, and another thing is your temperature is also continuously changing. So when temperature is changing like this, your heat energy dq by dt is K times area of cross section is constant, Ka into your theta is theta minus 0 by your length is L. This part I hope you are clear. Now in this expression, okay, what is changing with respect to time means your theta is changing with respect to time. How it is changing means, okay, it is varying linearly. Your theta is varying linearly. If theta varies linearly, we should express this theta as function of time first and then do integration with respect to time. Here theta is not constant. dq by dt, if this theta is constant, I would have written dq is equal to some constant into dt. Integral dq is equal to integral of constant into dt, and this time, this constant times t, and this side you will have only heat. So your heat transferred is q equal to this constant into t naught. But is this constant here? No. This term theta is varying with respect to time. Your theta is varying linearly. That is specifically mentioned in the question. So I cannot directly give rate into time. This heat rate into time will not give heat energy now. Okay, we have to express your theta as function of time. So in questions like this, okay, linear variation if it is there, that means it is kind of straight line at 0 degrees centigrade. Okay, here if you are assuming this to be some theta comma t, if it is linear variation, okay, after time t naught your temperature is theta naught. At 0, okay, at 0 your temperature is, okay, 0, okay, this is 0 comma 0 theta naught comma t naught, like this. So you are indirectly, if it is linear variation, all these points will lie in a straight line. So when points lie in a straight line, we can give the equation. This is kind of x1 y1, this is x2 y2. Your line equation is, okay, this is x comma y, y minus y1, so t minus 0 by x minus x1 theta minus 0, that is equal to y2 minus y1 t naught minus 0 by x2 minus x1 theta naught minus 0. So from here your theta is t times of theta naught by t naught. Okay, right? Hope you have understood it. Your theta as a function of temperature, it is this much. Now let us substitute this back into this equation. So your dq by dt is k into a by l times, what is theta means, it is theta naught into t by t naught. Now this term is constant, so your dq is k a theta naught by l t naught times t times dt. This term I will integrate on both sides. So integral of dq is integral of at t equal to 0, 0 heat energy will transfer. After time t naught, let us say total energy transferred is q total. So substituting the limits and simplifying it, your q total is, this term, entire term is constant, take it out of the integral, ka theta naught by lt naught times integral of t dt from 0 to t naught. So you are going to get your answer as ka theta naught by lt naught times t square by 2, that is your total heat energy. Okay, so like this you are supposed to calculate your heat energy. Okay, if you have not understood some problem, okay, please play this video once again, and after playing this video once again you try to understand what is happening. Definitely at this time you will follow. Okay, if not in the first time, definitely by second time you will follow what is understood it. Okay, watch if not 3 times and look at the physics part. Okay, still if you do not follow, you can come to me. Okay, right, next. Your next thing is you will be asked questions related to Wheatstone bridge also, but usually in the first year people will not ask questions related to Wheatstone bridge related to these rods. Okay, so that's why I am not focusing on that part as of now. That will be covered anyhow in the advanced lectures. Okay, next is something very important and interesting, that is your growth of ice on ponds. What is this growth of ice on ponds? I will tell you. Okay, now let us say you have ice. Okay, right? Now let us say this is your okay, usually what happens I will tell you. First, what is the logic for formation of ice I will tell you. Now this is your ground level. Okay, now your atmosphere's temperature will be usually, okay, in the winter in cold countries your atmospheric temperature will be negative temperature, that is below less than theta. Now ice falling from top, that is different. Okay, this is not that. This growth of ice on ponds is not upwards above the surface of ground, it is actually downwards. Okay, you will have water here. Okay, you will have water here. Let us say this is some 4 meters initially. This is some minus 10 degrees centigrade, temperature is slowly decreasing. In the bed it is 4 degrees centigrade. Now from this minus 10, what happens is ice starts, this is your surface here. From this surface, because of lower temperature, this is hot body, your heat energy starts going this way. Okay, as heat energy keeps increasing, your ice starts forming layer by layer like this. Okay, so from the top your ice will form downwards. Okay, don't get confused with the fact that you will be clearing roads, ice will cover these roads and all. This stuff is different. Okay, from atmosphere, because of condensation of water vapor, that stuff different, this stuff different. Okay, this is on ponds. Okay, pond water becoming ice, not snowfall, or else I would have written growth of snowfall on ground, that I would have written. Okay, but this is not that case. Okay, so initially this, before the, till this ground level everywhere water is there, but later what happened was, okay, you will have your, okay, temperature, okay, ice, this part will form ice. Okay, this initially it was water. Okay, initially everything was water, but to a height of x. Okay, let us say at some instant that you are seeing here after time t, some x amount of depth of from the surface, some x amount of depth of water has converted into ice. Okay, now we are supposed to calculate, okay, after time, some more time, how much is this depth of ice is what we are trying to calculate here. Okay, in time t the depth is x, okay, from the surface. Now in time t plus dt, okay, in time t plus dt, what is that you will have is, in time t plus dt you will have dx width. Okay, in time t x is the width, in time t plus dt dx is the width. Okay, so from here to here it is x in time t, in time t plus dt dx is the width. Okay, so in dt time this much ice, this much amount of water, okay, will get converted into ice, and at this junction of ice and water, okay, obviously there will be 0 degrees centigrade, and from the earth, okay, earth center will be at very high temperature. Okay, from earth somehow it will maintain this 4 degrees centigrade, and from the bed heat energy will start coming upwards like this. Okay, so that is why your aquatic animals are able to survive here. Okay, okay, because if this gets 0 degree centigrade, okay, as this keeps freezing, your fish and all will start going further downwards, so that at the bed only it will be more temperature, but still further, okay, for long time, if there is a possibility that even this becomes ice, all these animals will automatically die, but that will not happen anyhow, because earth's core will be at very high temperature. Okay, so my point is, initially on the ground, okay, on the ground, okay, it is the case, but normally you will measure, okay, you can assume t equal to 0 here itself. Okay, at t equal to 0, this is your no ice is formed at all. At time t, x is the thickness of ice formed. After time t plus dt, dx thickness has formed, you can assume. Now we are supposed to calculate what is your thickness of ice with respect to this time, is what is my ultimate target. Okay, that is what I am trying to calculate here. Now if you observe carefully this example, in this situation your heat energy will actually get transferred. Okay, your heat energy will actually get transferred from where to where means, in this example, okay, your heat energy is flowing like this. Okay, now your amount of heat energy dq by dt that is transferred out to the surroundings, okay, that will be used for conversion of ice So that is why it is dm into L by dt. Okay. The heat extracted from this portion of water, this width of water that I am taking, probably I will keep it with some yellow color line like this. From this yellow color portion, how much amount of heat that I am extracting, that amount of heat extracted, okay, will convert this dm amount of mass. If there is some dm amount of mass of water, that will be getting converted into ice, where L is the latent heat of fusion. Okay, if you have watched my calorimetry video, you will come to know this. This is your latent heat of fusion. Okay, this is different, this is not length. Okay, now what is your dq by dt means? Okay, this is at 0 degrees centigrade, this is at minus theta. So it is thermal conductivity K of ice into area of ice A times 0 minus theta by length along which heat energy is transferred is x. K A delta theta by x. Okay, your heat energy is going upwards like this. Okay, so now K A 0 minus of minus theta by x, that is equal to dm. Okay, now small mass, density is mass times volume. So dm is small volume dv into density is rho, dv is area of cross section into height a dx. Okay, so this shaded portion's volume is a into dx. So dm can be written as a dx into rho. Okay, this is small volume into density by time dt. A on this side will cancel off. You are going to get k theta by x is equal to rho times dx by dt. Send this to other side. Dt is equal to rho times k theta into x dx. Okay, let me check. Where is this length? Latent heat of fusion L is there. I did not carry this. Okay, L I have to write it. This is L. This is latent heat of fusion, not the length. Okay, I have forgot it here. So I am checking where did I miss it. Sorry. So this term is constant. Integrate on both sides. At t equal to 0, let us say your thickness of ice is x1. After time t, let us say your thickness is x2. Now if you simplify this, integral of dt is how much? T. So it is t from 0 to t1, that is equal to 0 to t, integral of dt. Rho L by k theta is constant, you can take it out of integral. X dx integral x is x square by 2. So that is x square by 2 from x1 to x2. Now finally your expression is, okay, t is rho L by k theta times 2k theta times x2 square minus x1 square. Okay, this is your time in which your thickness changes from x1 to x2. This is time in which thickness changes from x1 to x2. Okay, let me check whether it is visible clearly or not in the camera. Yes, it is visible. Okay, right? And here rate of increase of thickness will be asked. Okay, in certain questions, okay, your rate of increase of thickness means dx by dt. Rate of increase of thickness will be asked, that is your dx by dt, which comes from here. Dx by dt is k theta by rho L x. Okay, based on this there will be simple questions. I will tell you those, what are those. Okay, copy this stuff down. Okay, this expression is important. You have to remember this. Your time is directly proportional to x2 square minus x1 square. Right. All right, so now this is the question that we have related to growth of ice on ponds. Now you are supposed to give answer to this question. Now if you are trying to do answer to this question, okay, I don't see the chalk here. Fine. Okay. Now if you try to do answer to this question and if you are trying to calculate the rate of increase of thickness, now from the previous expressions that I have explained just now, what is that we have got is your dx by dt is, okay, your rate of thickness of ice. So from the previous expression that I have explained, you are going to get dx by dt as k theta by rho Lx, k times theta by rho into L into x. Okay, check this because the battery has got finished. I am recording this separately. I don't remember whether I have taken the same value or not, but dx by dt is k times theta, where L is latent heat of fusion, by rho into L. Okay, so by into x, yeah, you simplify this. Now in place of k, your thermal conductivity k is 1.7 times theta value. So it is 10 minus 10, actually it is minus theta, we are writing it. Density of water is 1000. Latent heat of fusion is 3.36 into 10 power 5 times this length is given as, okay, when 10 centimeter of ice is already formed. Okay, calculate when 10 centimeter of ice is already formed. Okay, so that was given in the question, it is incomplete. So 10 centimeter in the sense it is 10 by 100. This 10 centimeter must have been given in the question. Okay. Next, calculate time taken in forming 10 centimeter of ice. Now in forming 10 centimeter of ice, our formula that we are going to get is, okay, we have got your time t as rho L by 2k theta times x2 square minus x1 square, where x1 is initial thickness at t equal to 0. So now here if you are taking this, your x, if you x1 you can substitute 0, in place of x2 you substitute 10 by 100 because in meters you have to substitute. Rho L 2k theta you substitute everything, you are going to get your answer as 2 point, for this it is 5 into 10 power minus 7, you check it later whether numbers are matching or not, formula is the important part here, and here you are going to get your time as 2.71 hours. Okay, of course you will get it in seconds, 2.71 into 60 minutes into 60 seconds, that if you simplify you are going to get this. Now coming to this part, show that ice gets into a state with no further thickness. What is the thickness of ice is asked. Okay, so now in this, okay, what happens is when equilibrium is formed with 0, what happens is how much heat energy is coming from this, that much amount of heat energy will be transferred into the surroundings. Now your input is equal to output, that is from 0 to this part is completely ice, this part is water. So from this portion and from the bottom portion and topmost portion, what happens is how much input is entering, that much output if it is leaving, what happens here is there will be no further thickness of ice. Okay, here when this is able to extract, when the surrounding is able to extract more amount of heat from this part, okay, there is increase in thickness of ice, but here that is not the case. Okay, so here because this can only give limited amount of heat, so if that is the case, your current I is temperature difference 4 minus 0 by, if this part is x, this part will automatically become 1 minus x. So R1 that is equal to 0 minus of minus 10 by R2. R is L by Ka, your length is that is equal to 4 by R1. For this part if I am assuming resistance as R1, okay, your length is 1 minus x by thermal conductivity K into area, that is equal to 10 by your R2, this part length is x by K into A. Simplify this, get the value of x, that is your final answer. Okay, right? So it is 17 by 19, so which is approximately 0.89 meters. Okay, so like this you have to calculate your final values of thickness of ice and all. It will be given in the questions, so these questions will be easy only, you don't need to worry. So you can directly, MPC people, you can directly finish off HC Verma, and NEET people, you just do the book that I have asked you to do. Okay, finish off all the examples. Okay, right? Next, from the next class we will be seeing radiation. Okay, that's all. Thank you. And please do share and subscribe to my channel. My channel's name is Prashant Physics Classes. Okay, so H is there, you remember that, and please do share and subscribe the channel. Thank you.